I'm trying to think of it. Jazz pianist and singer. Okay. Hi, I'm Cynthia Tauro, and I am a jazz pianist and singer-songwriter, and I'm recording my first album here in Toronto. So it's kind of a combination of things coming into the album. I wrote, I think we're putting 4 of my originals on, and those are all pretty much love songs, or breakup songs, sad songs. And then the other ones are jazz standards that I've played for a long time and just love in so many different ways. Or I love the lyrics of the song, or I learned one from my mom, or one was the first jazz standard I've ever learned. My original songs are about a connection that you have with someone. And I think that's also what attracted me to music in the first place, is the connection that you can make with just music, with playing with someone. You give me hope, we could be together, then you tear me down. And I just keep wishing we could be together. Each song is kind of a moment in my life, or represents a moment in my life. So I'm doing a couple covers, jazz standards, and a couple originals. So the originals represent where I was in that time frame in my life, and then the covers also represent the moment and time frame in my life based on when I learned them or who I learned them from. It kind of brings a bunch of different aspects of my life into one, and so then it's here, this is how I sound. But you don't like me like that. It's all live off the floor. George Koller, who's the producer, he did some arranging for my originals, but then for the standards, we kind of all just arranged on the spot while we were recording. We picked something and went with it, and then we did maybe 1 or 2 takes for a couple of the songs, and then that was good, and that was it. So I have Davide Direnzo on drums, Ted Quinlan on guitar, George on bass and producing it, Perry White on sax, and Colleen Allen on sax and flute. I knew a couple of them before, but George was the one who brought everyone together at the same time. And then we all connected so well. I love all of them, and they're such great musicians. I often play background piano, sing and voice, just solo for weddings, events, parties, or whatever. And so I always just hear myself playing the same, usually the same songs. And now I'm finally hearing them recorded with amazing players on them. And so it's kind of really cool to hear the transition of first myself just playing them for gigs, and now hearing them on recordings and being wow, it's my own thing. I am here probably alone. He sits staring at his phone. Words won't do us any good. The single Dancing on My Own, I was because a lot of people think from the lyrics that it's oh, she's in a club dancing on her own, and oh yeah, I kind of get it, she's not dancing with anyone else. But really, I was in my apartment listening to music and just dancing by myself because I was alone and he wasn't there. And then that's when I was you know what, I like this. It was a good feeling, and then I had to just get it down on paper. So that's why I wrote that song. I'm excited. This is my album that I recorded in Toronto, and you can find me on iTunes, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere, Cynthia Tauro Music. And yeah, thank you for listening and doing this. I was half talking to you and half talking to